What's up, guys? It's Shiny Polaris. Just came back this morning from a really short trip, but a very, oh my God, so eventful trip to Full Gear in New Jersey. So like I said, really short. I came on Friday in the morning and then watched Rampage, and then the next day went to the AEW Heels meetup, then Full Gear, and then went home very early in the morning. So it was really quick, but man, it was so eventful. Just going to talk about a little bit of my experience there, and then some of the stuff that went down on the show. But first thing, we're going to show off the swag that I got. Of course, I got the T-shirt. There you go. That's one of the event tees. One thing I was really sad, you kind of see here, these are my posters from the 2 years previous. I don't know what happened. They don't sell the posters anymore. It's so sad. That's like the best part. Like, I love the posters. But so at the meet and greet, I met Toni Storm. So that's my autograph from her. And then this is the other event tee. Of course, they both said that I was there. So this one is with Moxley and MJF. And then this piece right here. Let's see if I can get it. This is the chair, of course. Like, yeah, this is the piece like I have to get now. So, really happy about that. I'm getting a little, kind of a small collection going, so that's really cool. So yeah, let's quickly talk about Rampage. So I went to Rampage and I was really, really happy with my seats. I just watched the episode finally. So yeah, I was in the front row. Though I do sit first or second row most of the time, very few times I'll get the camera side. So that's one of the few times I did. The only bad thing, and I've talked about a little bit on Twitter, was I sat next to those three cornet guys. I mean, I was like really loud, like mostly the whole match, so I didn't really hear what they had to say, but they were very vocal about the main event, the Eddie Kingston match the most. So that's kind of like, but otherwise, they didn't really bother me too much. But I've said it, like I said, on Twitter, very weird to like just hate on the show, but you get ringside seats. Like, what is the point of that? And they you can assume the way they look. That's how they smell. So just saying. But yeah, that's just about Rampage. I enjoyed it a lot. It was a really good episode of it, and got me hyped for Full Gear. So when Full Gear came around, I actually, my original seats were along the ramp side. So when you see me took the picture, that was my original seat. And then last minute I went and I switched it with a friend, because I was like, you know what? I rather sit on the side where I can, like record the matches better, and then you won't be on camera because that's like, the camera side. But it didn't matter. I really rather just have the videos for the memories, especially knowing that the lead was there. So, oh God, that show, I think that show was really good. And I know the last couple of AEW pay-per-views, they had like, the surprise debut, and which is always cool, but this one didn't have any of it. I think the big one was just the return of the Elite, and that was enough. We didn't need, we don't need new people like all the time. So that was really cool. I mean, I guess you can technically say that we did kind of got a new person. That was during the buy-in. Was it Konosuke Takeshita? He just signed with AEW, which is perfect because I've been waiting for. He's such a good talent. I mean, I love all his matches. They just made him all elite graphic the day of Full Gear, so that's awesome. Can't wait to see what he does in AEW because he's so good. So let's see. The first match was Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus in that cage match. And side note, all I did was took a video of the cage lowering down. I posted on Twitter, and they striked me for it. Like, really? No, they took that video down. I'm like, okay. So that's why I was kind of worried about posting more clips, because I'm like, which one is going to be taken down? Now, of course, the stuff like I posted about Eddie Kingston, like stuff from like Rampage and YouTube, that's fine. But then the pay-per-view again, I was a little worried about that. But I watched that match, and I sat really close to his mom and his sister, so it was cool to like watch that match and then kind of see their reaction right there. So after that match, like, can you believe the second match was the trios, right? My little yarn guys there. And I was just so excited. I was jokingly saying, like, after this trio match, I'm going home. But it was really cool. So the Young Bucks been like teasing about, the Wayward Sons thing and all that. So I was curious, like, what are they going to do with that? And really cool to hear the lead come out in Carry On Wayward Son song. And believe it or not, I've been like, that song stuck in my head now, and I like listened to it a few times. And it's funny because before, like, when I hear that song, I thought of Dan the Dad, because that's his entrance music. So it was, so now that's good. It can change it up. It can be the Young Bucks now. I don't know how often they're going to use that song, but that's pretty epic. So we're going to see what they're going to do with that, like, theme or whatever. But yeah, they came out, of course, huge pops. And there's no surprise that I went and recorded that whole entire match. So I already cut it up into fun little clips. I picked out the best parts. I'll post some of them on Twitter. And again, I'm a little weary because I don't know if they're going to take it down. But the rest, they will be posted on TikTok. So follow me on TikTok at Shining Polaris AEW. Yeah, great match. Really, really did not expect them to lose. I thought the Elite were going to win it. It ended up being a Death Triangle retaining, and that was because Pac, he had that like little hammer. He went and tossed it to Phoenix, who like had to make a decision, was he going to use that hammer or not? And he ended up doing it and hit Kenny Omega and then pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. So they retained. After the match, AEW posted that this is the first of 7 matches they're going to have. I mean, at first, like, for me, of course, I don't care. The more Elite stuff, the better. I just thought it was very strange. Like, 7 matches between the same opponents. Like, what are they going to do, like, differently? But whatever. I mean, you just have to think about it. Like someone said that it's a perfect example, NBA games, and where they do the playoffs to the championship. So we're just going to see. And it's great because they went and showed the schedule of like when they're going to have each of the matches. Of course, the last one, they're going to be in Los Angeles, the 7th one. So of course the Young Bucks are probably going to win it at the end. But I will be there for some of them. So yeah, so actually like about half of it I'll be there because I already went to the first one, which is in New Jersey. The second one is Dynamite in Chicago. The third one will be in Indianapolis. So I will be at those 3 shows. It will be very cool. Will I just randomly show up to California on their last one where they win? Who knows? Probably not. Because I don't like traveling to California. But anyhow, so yeah, so they lost, but I do have a lot of clips of them, so because I like them, I'm probably going to post a lot of their stuff online. All right, so I'm just going to talk about whatever. So I'm not going to go every match because not every match I was super excited for. I mean, all of them were really good. I'm telling you, this was a really good pay-per-view, but I'm just going to talk about what I care about. So, yeah, the AEW Women's World Championship match, excellent. And just gonna say what everyone's already saying, they should just drop the interim title. I think that if the talent cannot come back in less than a month, make that person with the interim championship the real champion, and then when that person comes back, they'll be number 1 contender and they can win it back or not or whatever. But yeah, so it's been going on so long with Thunder Rosa. She's injured, so we don't know when she's coming back. So like, they should just stop with the interim thing. But anyhow, oh my God, excellent match between Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter. Those two are one of the most over women in AEW. And they, they have a really hard-hitting style, and it was just really cool to watch. So, and for me, for real, I did not know who was going to win it because I'm like, Toni, she may retain it because, her. I was like, she's gonna have a longer reign, I guess. But then Jamie was just like super over. I'm like, no, she's gonna win it. So I like both women, but I was personally really rooting for Hayter. And so yeah, Hayter won. Now a lot of people were criticizing because unfortunately, I mean, it doesn't ruin it for me that much, but I can see how it was with other people. Hayter had to get help to win. So you had Rebel Dr. Britt Baker there, and they did a lot of distraction and stuff to help Hayter win it. But regardless, who cares? I can't wait to see, because that's definitely gonna start the rivalry for sure between Hayter and Britt Baker, which they have been teasing for a long time. So yeah, just really cool. I posted a really awesome, genuine picture of Hayter, like just so happy that she won it, and a lot of you guys like it, so that's awesome. Let's see. And then what do I want to talk about? If you're wondering, like, I said it before, like the ROH stuff, and I like Jericho a lot. Like, I really like him. I just don't really. I'm not into the ROH stuff as much as some other people, so that's why I'm not going to talk about that, including Samoa Joe winning the TNT Championship. That kind of made me because I feel kind of like bad for Wardlow, because Wardlow is everyone loves him, and somehow when he became champion, this is just in my opinion, I felt like his defenses and whatever were not that good, and then he's being involved with Samoa Joe, and I really thought, like, in that match, I thought Hobbs were going to win it. I mean, that I give it to him. I love seeing heel champions, so if they gave it to Hobbs, that would be awesome. But he didn't. Samoa Joe won it. Again, we can see where it's going to go from there. Let's see. What else? Yeah, like the Sting Darby, Jay and Jeff match. I love seeing anything from Darby or Sting. Just not into Jay and Jeff that much. So, but it was a fun match because it was, that no DQ hardcore style. And but the thing was, because where I was sitting, you couldn't really see anything, so I was just watching it on TV like everyone else. So yeah, so that match was like for me. We'll just go to the main event because that's all we care about. Yeah, like that's one of the huge reasons why I decided to go to Full Gear, because in the beginning I was really thinking about skipping this, but I was like, you know what? I really think MJF is going to win it, and I think that's going to be like a special moment to have MJF, what is it, homegrown talent basically to win the AEW World Championship, especially off someone like Moxley. So I was like, okay, you know what? I wasn't sure if the Elite was going to come back, but I was like, you know what? That main event was more than enough to sell the show for me. So and again, same with the Elite match. I basically recorded this whole match too, so I can't wait to show the clips from there. Yeah, it was really good. I thought it was pretty funny because Moxley is so loved by just about everybody. He was booed really hard there. I mean, at All Out, yes, people were cheering for CM Punk, but it was almost like half and half. Half CM Punk, half Moxley, even though it was in Chicago. This one was like, I'm going to say 90% was for MJF. And then, I mean, you had like F John Moxley chants in there, which is crazy. I sat in the second row, and I'm telling you, I was the only one in my section cheering for Moxley. And there was a point, I don't even know, I mean, this is just in my head. Moxley was really close to me in the front, and everybody was booing him, and my section was like silent at that exact moment where I yelled out, "I got you, Moxley!" And he turned around to look at me. I was just laughing. I was like, "Oh man, I know he reacted." But yeah, I mean, he had tremendous boos there. It was ridiculous. And so yeah. What is it? So the ending was like really surprising, because I mean, I knew MJF was gonna win, but it was like how? Because Moxley is just so good. Well, then you had, so what happened was, during the match they scuffled or whatever, knocked the ref out, and then another ref came in, knocked him out too. So now you don't have anybody accounting the pin, because Moxley actually put on a submission on MJF, and MJF tapped, but the ref wasn't there. So what that did was, Regal came in to tell Moxley get the ref up so he can count. And as Moxley was doing that, Regal pulled out his brass knuckles and gave it to MJF. MJF grabbed it and went and hit Moxley with that, knocked him out, and MJF won like that. So it was crazy to see it, and it was pretty emotional. I mean, you could see MJF is the devil, but you could tell he was really happy that he won that championship. So after all that went down, I of course I love videotaping stuff after, because I know a lot of people can't see that. So afterwards, you had, so John Moxley, what happened in the ring was John Moxley was knocked out, right? And then you had the rest of Blackpool Combat Club came over to help him up. So when Moxley got up, it was like Claudio, Bryan, and Wheeler there, and you could tell they were telling him what happened, because you can see Moxley's like, wait, I lost, like what, how? And then they basically, you can see by the way, because in my video you can't really hear them because it's too far, but you could see that, he was like, they're gesturing like, yeah, Regal threw the brass knuckles in and MJF used it to hit you, and that's how you lost. And Moxley, you could see he was just so like angry and like sad about it, and that he lost it that way. And then that little part ended with the Blackpool like hugging him, and then they're like, like, okay, big family. So but yeah, just seeing that, you're wondering like, oh man, like, I mean, I obviously, like, all I do is I talk about the Elite and the Bullet Club, but like, I really like Blackpool Combat Club too, and I'm hoping that they don't break up, because obviously, like, they're not going to be with Regal anymore. So I'm just hoping what will happen is the core Combat Club guys will stay together, because they've worked really well. That's like an unstoppable group, man. And so have them work together, and then you'll have Regal and MJF. In some way, they're gonna be their rivals. So it's gonna be really cool to see what they're gonna do from here. So yeah, that's basically the show for me. Again, excellent. That was an excellent experience. I mean, even like sometimes it's a risk when you go to shows, because you don't know how the people around you are going to act. You either have people with obnoxious signs, or really drunk, or just rude. But I'm glad at where I'm sitting, and it could be because where I was sitting was almost at my row, because I literally sat almost next to Britt Baker's parents. That whole row I could tell was like family. Like you can look and you can see, okay, that has to be someone's husband or someone's wife, and they're all like pretty polite, and they like sat down a lot, which is good. So I personally feel bad for the other side. So I sat on like where the camera is, so that's why my section will almost never be on camera. But like the other side, and I commented on Twitter a little bit, that whole first row, at least 80% of them were standing the whole time. Oh man, I would be so mad. I would call security for real. Because those guys in the front row that you could see on TV, all were standing, and then some of my followers that were behind them like was so mad, and there was like nothing they could do. I'm sure there is something you can do, because they, like, if everybody was standing, that's cool, but I understand, like, not everybody wants to stand. You got to be like kind of conscious about that. But again, some of those people may just go to 1 or 2 shows a year, and they're probably like, F it, whatever. But yeah, I mean, for me personally, I try to be conscious of that when if I'm in near the front. So yeah, just trying to keep it short. I guess that's my experience there. Forgot to talk about the heels meeting, but just quickly on that. It was a lot of fun. My first heel meetings in like 1.5 years. Got to meet some of the female wrestlers there and talk to some of the members. So that was actually cool. I came in there not knowing what to expect, because the last meeting I went to was ran by Brandy Rose. She's not there anymore. So this heels now is like brand new, totally like new thing going on. So, but it was fun. All right. So my schedule, man, I am going to go to a month of shows. So my first ones. Oh, also, because some people weren't clear, this is my last vacation. So me going to Full Gear, now I have no more vacation time. So it doesn't start. So like at most jobs, it doesn't start like in January, and that's the new year. It starts with the day you were hired. So I still have a few months left before my year starts. So Full Gear is my last vacation. Does not mean that I can't go to any more shows, because you still get 2 days off. I actually scheduled it. My regular days off is Wednesday and Thursday. That's how I can still go to Dynamite. So the next, I will be going to Chicago Thanksgiving Dynamite, and that card looks so good. And for Chicago especially, I make sure to get good tickets because come on, you gotta represent your city. So I will be right there in the front again. And I'm very very excited for that. Then I am going to Indianapolis the week after. I have regular seats for that, so I don't even know. I mean, and I know it's hard to believe. I don't always get the front. That's by luck or if I have money, but I ran out of money. Full gear costs a lot. And then after that, you can all yell at me. I'm going to Raw and I'm going to SmackDown. So 1 month of shows I am excited for. All right, thank you so much, guys, for listening to my rant here. I've been trying to use Instagram a little bit more since this Twitter thing. Oh man, that Musk guy really screwing things up. So I've been a little bit more active on Twitter. Thank you guys for following me on there because I think it's easier if you find me because my name is the same and I'm gonna try to follow everyone back. I've been trying to do a little bit every day. So Instagram at Shining Polaris, TikTok for more clips, Shining Polaris AEW, of course, Twitter, my main account, Shining Polaris. And then if you want to follow the Yarn Bucks right here, you can just search Yarn Bucks, but they're under Young Bucks _ AEW. All right, thank you guys so much, and I will see you very, very soon because Dynamite is in a few days. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.